Hi, fashion dolls. I am back. I am back. I am back. It is Transformation Tuesday, December 17th, and welcome to another episode of Style by Stevie. As you guys can see, I am seeing green today. It is the Christmas holidays. Christmas will be here before you know it. I'm super excited about our very special guest today making his debut here in the Dollhouse. Now, you guys might have seen him in the award-winning film The Burden of Nine Lives by Vega Martinez, who is like my annoying brother. I call him my annoying brother. But I've had the pleasure of interviewing Vega twice here on the show. So I'm super excited to be back. I hope you guys are feeling as festive and in the holiday spirit as I am. It felt so good taking that little bit of time off to reflect and just get myself prepared mentally for 2025. I'm so excited for this upcoming season. So let me share this live with my very special guest today so that we can get right into this interview. Are y'all excited as I am? We're also going to do What's in My Purse. So I'm super excited about that. And our very special guest will be joining me pretty soon. What have I been up to? Well, preparing for the Christmas holidays. As you all know, Christmas is right around the corner, and I'm super excited to be just in the spirit, in the mood, in the know for what is to come for this Christmas holiday season. So we're going to do What's in My Purse at the end of the show, and then we're going to get into some holiday games with Andersson at the end of the show, all right? So without further ado, fashion dolls, Andersson Tejeda. What? Hello, hello.
There we go.
Welcome, welcome.
Hi, hi.
Welcome to the Dollhouse. It is such a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, this is like the first one. I don't go live very often, but figuring this all out. Can you see me okay?
Yes, I can see you and I can hear you.
Perfect.
Interview. Yes, I am here, Fashion Dolls, with Andersson Tejeda. Welcome to the Dollhouse. He is a part of the critically acclaimed film by Vega Martinez, The Burden of Nine Lives. Now, you are a fresh new face, fresh new to the acting world, and Vega has told me so much about you. And we have another one of your co-stars, Ashley. She'll be joining me next week as well too, and I'm super excited. It's going to be before Christmas Day, so it'll be December 23rd. Make sure you guys tune in for that. So I like to start with my guests from the beginning to get to know where they're at now at this point in their life. So let's start from the beginning. Who is Andersson?
Oh man, what a question. Who is Anderson? Anderson, I am an actor. Obviously, I've been acting for quite some time. First got bit by the bug in the seventh grade through a performing arts class, and I like to mention that to highlight how important it is to have arts programs in schools and not have them continue to be the first thing that is cut every time when funding gets cut. Um, some of my hobbies include things. I'm a huge nerd, so my hobbies are like chess, reading, watching anime, a good TV show, some other board games, and things like that. So that's Anderson in a nutshell.
Hey, sister, looking gorgeous as always. Thank you, Noli. Thank you, girl. It takes a village to keep a woman together. So I want to give a very special thank you to Melanie Nalamai Bridgers for making sure that the face is gorgeous, that everything is just right. So a very special shout out to her. Um, Now, how many siblings and at what age did you develop the passion for acting?
Uh, I have three other siblings. I have a younger sister, a younger brother, and an older sister. The passion truly flourished. I'm going to say so it went dormant after the seventh grade for a little while because the program got cut. And it reignited when I was around in high school. So I'm gonna say around 16, yeah, 15, 16 years old.
Oh, okay. Now, who's some of your? I'm gonna get to you guys' questions. Y'all are coming in so fast. Y'all must have missed me. I miss y'all too. Thank y'all so much for coming in. I hope y'all are
The love.
enjoying y'all Christmas holidays break. Christmas will be here before you know it, and we're gonna get into some holiday games at the end of the show. And you guys are gonna see what is inside Miss Stevie's purse at the end of the show. So yes, I am cutting that velvet rope. We're gonna do something different. Um, we have some questions for you, Anderson. The first one is for my girl Noli. She wants to know, what are some of your favorite board games?
Some of my favorite board games. I do see that they also asked if I like D&D. I actually recently just got into D&D, and it has been a lot of fun. It's great. Get to flex my acting muscles a little bit as well, so it's really fun, and I'm getting really into it. Some other board games include Go, uh, Japanese Mahjong, Shogi, and like I said, chess. So those are gonna be like my top board games.
And Noli wants to know, do you dress up? Like, there's these gamers out here for, and I told Noli this in my audience. When it comes to gaming and getting into these characters, anime, whatever it may be, these conventions are real, and people literally show up in character. And we'll get in character in a minute because, as you guys know, Anderson is a part of the critically acclaimed, highly anticipated, most watched film ever, and that is from Vega Montanez, The Burden of Nine Lives. And I see my brother K Tukes, who also had Vega on his show. I have my thoughts about Vega. He knows how I feel about him. And I said it in the beginning of the show, and Anderson is a witness to it. He put us in a group chat, and he's like the annoying brother. He's so arrogant, but you gotta love him. He gets under my skin, but and he knows how to bother me. So that's why I call him my annoying little brother. And K Tukes is also like a brother to me as well too. So make sure you guys please go and check out Vega's interview with K Tukes. But for you, Anderson, with gaming and everything, how easy is it for you to get in character, especially for this film? Because this is a little intense. You play the younger detective in this film.
That I do. So a funny story actually is we had worked on another project in a relatively short amount of time between Burden of Nine Lives and the one before it, which is called Nico, which I also play a detective in. So a really one of my biggest struggles when it came to Burden of Nine Lives was making sure that I didn't play the same detective, especially with them being different characters and everything. And I just didn't want it to be the same across the board. And I figured it'd be a good chance to show some range in terms of getting actually into the character beyond, the whole not making it the same. It was so I don't think it's, for me at least, not very difficult so much as, I guess, kind of time consuming would be a better way to put it, just because of, you're going through like an 80-page script and making sure you didn't miss anything or any lines or any scenes. Because, what I like to do, one of the things I like to do when I'm preparing for a role is see what other characters say about my character, because that'll give me some more insight to my own character and how to build up my character personality wise and all that good stuff. And that's just aside from like knowing what my lines are and then just going into, okay, what's this character's history, where's all this coming from, and all that good stuff. So the short answer to your question is not very difficult to get into character, so much as it was time consuming.
Now, for Nico, you just recently had a screening for that. That was on the 13th in Providence, Rhode Island, and you did like a Q&A film filmmaker roundtable. So what was that experience like, being able to bond with your castmates? Because I know, like I said, with these conventions and conferences is crazy. Like, the audience is anticipating more. They want to know all of the questions. What was it like? What was that experience like for you?
Oh my God, it was awesome. Shout out to like all the people that showed up to that. It was great. We had the screening and then did the Q&A after, like you said. And my biggest concern was, are people going to actually ask questions? And I had two really good friends moderate it so that, just in case nobody asked questions, they'd be able to keep it going. Shout out to Codex Prime um, podcast with Carl Bird and Let's Chat with Chris Revel. Um, they did a great job moderating it, and they kind of got it flowing, and then the audience all started asking questions, and they were asking some pretty good questions. I think the first question that was asked was actually, hey, how do you get funding and how can people help? Which is definitely not a question that I expected us to get, but there was a lot of good questions and really good audience participation, which is what we wanted at the end of the day for that screening.
And shout outs to my brother again. He says you did an amazing job with your acting on The Burden of Nine Lives. So, what was it like working with Vega in this project? And did you have any idea? Because this is an award winning project. Like, Vega is getting a lot of buzz for this right here. And I remember when we did our first interview, he predicted it himself when we sat down and we did our interview. He said, "Oh, this project is going to be lit. You got to go and check it out." And then we came back for our second interview, and people are talking about it. It is on fire, literally. So, what was it like working with my brother? Because I call him my brother, my annoying little brother, but he understands me. I get his creative vision and what he's doing. We are both crazy creative, and we're very passionate and dedicated about what we do. And I can tell you one thing else about Vega. Vega is a consummate professional. He takes no for an answer. He's not going to let you say no. And he's one that stays determined and destined. And I see his passion, his fire. He's gonna be hard on you. He's gonna be like that annoying little brother because he wants you to succeed and do well. And trust me, I've got my earful on the bargain. He knows. So what was it like working with Vega on this project?
Yeah, first, thank you, K-Tux, for that compliment. Really appreciate it. That means a lot. And to answer the question, working with Vega on this project, I mean, it's not the first time that I worked with Vega. I've actually worked with him on since like The Hurt We Share. So we've done four movies now together. So I'm kind of used to him being around. So working with him for me is pretty seamless because I kind of already have an idea of how he works and moves around. And it also makes it easier that he kind of just gives me a lot of liberty, so much as that I'm not, you know, going like off the walls with it. So I don't have to worry about saying the lines words for words as long as I get the message across. Which he'll tell you too is that sometimes it comes out better because of that. Like he'll just let the actors say something similar and it would have been better than anything that he could have written. Those and he's, said those words before. But working with him can be pretty easy because of that. So it's pretty cool, pretty easy, it's fun. Because it's like, I mean, we've known each other for a good like 10 years at this point, and it's like it's not something that you really see coming, is that you see, that we're friends and now we're making movies together. Um so it's really cool to just kind of have like that full circle moment of being able to do a project like Bird in the Nine Lives that's winning all these awards, like you said, and creating and generating all this buzz because, like, everybody on it is great. Like you said, you're having Ashley on next week. Ashley's phenomenal actress and an even better person. She's awesome. Shout out to her. So you're gonna have a great time with her on the interview, and that, there's no doubt in my mind about that. So, but everybody on the set was cool. It was nice, like meeting everybody and everything. And Vega just has a talent of bringing people together, and nobody can deny that.
Yes, he does. And like I said, I don't say the same thing. He's a consummate professional, and he is dedicated to his project. He is dedicated to his film. This is his baby. And I see the passion. When I first met him, when we did our very first interview, I saw the passion, I saw the fire. I'm just like, okay, he doesn't take any nonsense. He's like myself. And I think that's why we sometimes bump heads, but I get it. I get what he's trying to say. He pushes you because he wants you to do well. And I have people, I'm thankful to have him in my circle of people, to call them like a brother or a sister to me. K Toops is another one. He will call and he will say, like, sis, okay, girl, your delivery could have been a little bit different, or you could have did this. Like, I had to totally rebrand and reimage myself, and I'm thankful for the likes of Vega and K2s and so many others who are behind me, guiding me and molding me into the woman that you guys see today hosting this platform. So if it wasn't for Vega, this interview wouldn't be possible because he set it up. So
Yeah.
very special thank you to him.
Shout out to
And
Vega for that.
absolutely. He's a genius. He's dynamic in what he does. His filming, his filmmaking, his writing, his skills. And he pulls from a place that is real, a place that people can relate to, that grew up. And I remember K2 asked him this in his interview. Um, as it pertains to, I think it was his ethnicity and things. He was like, well, this is what you see when you grow up. And he's real, and I attract real people. He pulls from a place of real personal experience, and that's what takes a real filmmaker, to pull from personal experience of things that people in everyday life have went through or have witnessed or might know someone who's been through a similar situation. So absolutely, shout outs to Vega. And not only that, but your Nico film has been officially selected for the Boston Indie Film Festival 2024. Where were you when you found out the information? And do you realize how big this is? What was your reaction to it?
Is that the one that it won Best Narrative for?
Yes.
I know there was one that, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm pretty sure I was kind of just chilling on my couch and scrolling through Instagram, as you know we will do sometimes. But I saw that come up, and I saw that award, and I was like, "This is awesome!" Especially with, because I'm based in Rhode Island, so Boston is a hop, skip, and a jump away from me. And it did also catch me off guard too, because like I wasn't it's not like they were like telling me every time that it got into a festival or anything. Like I would be finding out through social media, so it kind of added to the element of surprise, I guess. But I was really happy to see that, especially since like I do have better billing in Nico as opposed to Burden. Both were fun projects and great projects to be a part of. Um, but it was a moment. It was a moment for sure. And like I'm just waiting to kind of, well, not waiting so much as preparing for and intentionally looking to push these projects and getting them to be as big as they can be.
And they are. They are already, people are already talking about both projects. With you being a part of both critically acclaimed projects, what is next in the chapter for Anderson?
Um, oh, what is next? Um, I've been wanting to get back on stage because I'm originally, my heart is on the stage, the theater. The theater is my first love. So
Ooh.
I'm looking to do a play next, because I miss being on stage, and that's something that'll happen with me all the time. Is I'll make do a movie or two, and then say, hey, you know what? I miss my roots. I want to go back and be on stage. Um, and it's really funny because for those who know, uh, or rather for those who don't, theater can be very demanding just from the rehearsal process all the way to the shows, because it's almost a full-time job, or it can be a full-time job depending on what theater you're doing it at and what their resources are. But it's a big time commitment either way. So it's very much like when you're doing a play, all you're doing is that play, because you don't really have time for a whole lot of other stuff, unless you're like staying up super late. So what's next is working on booking another play.
And that was going to gear into the next question that I was going to ask you. And then my brother K2, well, yeah, my brother says, what is your dream theater role?
This one's easy, and it has two answers. So one of my dream theater roles is juror number 8 in 12 Angry Men. That's like right now it's my favorite play. I love
Classic.
12 Angry Men. Yeah. super classic. And I just love the way that it goes about how simple it is in like just kind of like production wise, but how impactful the story is and just how impactful that character is. But also my dream role overall is to play Sherlock Holmes. And last year I found out that there were actually a couple of Sherlock plays. So my two dream theater roles, Sherlock Holmes, juror number eight, dream role overall, Sherlock Holmes.
All right, and that's gonna segue into my next question for you. Like, which do you prefer? Because I know with The Burden of Nine Lives and the Nico film, you were on set. Of course, doing Broadway or theater, you're on set, but someone has to design the stage. Whereas if you're out filming and it's in the real world, it's already set in place at a location or locale. But the difference is you're doing this live, how we're doing this interview right now live, and the world can go back and see it over and over and over and over again because it's going to be uploaded to my channel and here, of course. But in real time, if you mess up, and I was telling another actor this not too long ago, if you mess up, an audience can catch on to it. And the key thing is to not let that audience catch on to if you mess up. So if it's a lead character, say for instance, my brother K Tukes was the lead in that film, you would have to go, they would look at the other cast members in the film would have to look at that main character to be like, okay, what do I do now? Where do we go from here? So yes, my
Yeah,
question
so
is, which do you prefer, on stage or being on set of film?
yeah, so they both have their advantages and disadvantages, right? I personally prefer being on stage, uh, for the simple fact that once you start acting, like there's no stopping until you're done,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Versus on film where it's like action cut, action cut, and especially if it's an intense scene, right? And you finally got there, and you're like, oh, if you have to cry or whatever, cut. Okay, now that kind of takes you out of it a little bit because now you have to reset to the top of the scene, and if you're not supposed to be crying at the top of the scene, then you better not be crying at the top of the scene, but you have to get ready to cry at the end of the scene. Um, and they both have like their own like nuances and everything, but it's just for me, theater just takes a cake every time, every single time. And so to your point of uh, not like making sure the audience can't tell if you mess up or not in theater, I think that's one of the beautiful things about theater is that you can get more uh be more organic and feel more organic because if you do mess up, you have to make it a part of the world that you are portraying for the audience so that they don't get taken out of it because of a mess up. So it's very much like yes, like you have to be in the moment even more so. You have to be prepared even more so. You have to be in your character even more so. So I just think that you for me you just can't beat theater.
Absolutely. And it's in real time. So now the audience will catch on to it and they'll interact with the characters. It's very, very funny. Like what's on Broadway, Death Becomes Her. And Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child is the headlining act of that film. Of that, I mean, you've mentioned 12 Angry Men, Death Becomes Her, A Raisin in the Sun, so many of them. The Wiz, what, Wicked. I mean, a lot of these are classics and people know it word for word. They know the characters, and what's so crazy is they interact with the audience and it's funny. It's a real experience. Like in real time it's so much fun. If you're going to watch something in real time versus, okay, if you're on set, you're watching it in the movies, you won't be able to interact with the stars in the project because you're in the film. I mean, your friend or your family member next to you, you'll be interacting with them, but of course, foreshadowing of what's to come, but interacting with the stars and just that feeling, that conversation is what people look for now. And it's
Yeah.
fun. It's a pretty fun feeling.
Yeah, and then even just having the energy, like you can when you watch somebody live, you get to feel their presence and their
Oh,
energy
yeah.
that they can give off, and you can feed off of the audience's energy, and then you have this back and forth in that way with the audience. Versus a movie is just kind of like, oh, it's already done, and the only energy I had to feed off of was my scene partner. Versus the theater, where you have your scene partner and the audience. Not to say that you should rely on the audience's energy, because you'll always have a different crowd, and some of them, very tight-lipped or won't laugh until the end, and that kind of stuff, which, you know, is all cool and everything. Because theater etiquette, but you just don't get the same energy.
Not at all. Not at all. So my recommendation is, um, well, right now is the perfect time because a lot of things are on Broadway for the Christmas holiday season. Like we've seen, we grew up watching what the Nutcracker, and all of these other Christmas holiday favorites. I mean, it's so many. They brought it back and live recreated it so that people could see it in real time. The cult classic films, like one of my favorite Christmas movies is A Christmas Story. And I remember they did a live readaptation of that. That experience of being able to watch the film in your home versus going to see it in person and see the actors actually act it out for you and you know it word for word. So it's amazing how technology and film has changed over time. So as we go into the new year, because after this year, we're now heading into a whole new year, 2025. So Anderson, for you, and I asked Vega the same question, where do you predict the film industry and as far as theater, live theater, will go in the next generation for 2025?
Oh man. The In terms well, I'll answer the theater first. I think theater is like seeing a boom, especially after the pandemic when we all had to be locked in our houses.
Everything was
Uh,
shut.
yep. So now people want to be out of their houses and they want to see more of that. And pair that with the fact that Hollywood just keeps pumping out reboots and
Oh,
remakes,
yeah.
which everybody's getting tired of, right? So where are you gonna go? Where there's original stuff happening, and that's in the theater, right? Even if it's like an old play, every show is different. Because even with the same cast and the same director, every show's going to be different because you just never know what's going to happen on that day of the show. So I think we're seeing a resurgence of theater, and more people are starting to go out and watch plays, which is awesome. And I think more people should watch plays because it's a whole experience. You'll get me in a theater seat to watch a play before you'll ever get me to the cinema to watch a movie. That's just because that's how I am. I don't know. It's especially like I said with all the reboots and remakes. It's been a very long time since a movie has actually caught my eye and made me go, hey, yeah, I'll leave my house to go watch this thing. Especially with streaming now, it's kind of weird in the industry. In terms of the film industry, though, uh, I think that can kind of go anywhere right now, right? Because like it's really still in a recovery phase, at least overall, because we had the pandemic. Right after the pandemic, the writers went on strike. After the writers went on strike, the actors went on strike. After the actors went on strike, now there's a video game voice actor strike. So there's a lot going on in the industry right now, and like something that they've been saying a lot is survive till 25, because they've just kind of been recovering from all these things and starting to get projects back out and all that good stuff. So I think with the film industry, it can go either which way, honestly. But if they don't do anything about the reboots and remakes and, protecting performers from like AI and all that good stuff, then they're going to be teetering a line, and then they have to figure out the whole streaming situation. So yeah, in terms of the film industry, it's a Pandora's box right now, honestly, from my perspective.
Absolutely. And I had the same conversation with Vega about AI as it pertains to AI. And we're seeing more and more actors. Valerie Petford, you guys know her from BET's Family Business. She's been vocal about it. Janet Hubert, um, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air on Viv, she's been vocal about it. A lot of actors. And I think it was Dennis Haysbert. You guys know him from Wait and Exhale with the late, and she's one of my favorite singers, Whitney Houston. And he also did the show 24. I think he's been one of the ones that's been vocal about it. A lot of actors have been vocal about AI. You're using my voice for content. And I was saying this when I did my interview with another music artist. I said, okay, you guys know that I'm a big Prince fan. Why am I seeing music that has his exact voice? Because Prince had a very distinct voice. If not Prince, then Aaliyah. Aaliyah, the singer, she died in the plane crash. Same exact vocals. They both had a distinct voice. So AI is scary. How I'm talking right now and how I say hi fashion dolls, someone can easily take my voice and do the same exact thing. So it is up to you to make sure that you protect your voice, your image, everything. This is exactly what Janet Hubert was talking about.
Yeah, and like just to add to that, right? I think AI has its place, right? Or like if you're using it for tedious tasks, right? If you needed to draft an email, okay, that's fine. But when you
Yeah,
start trying to have it replace art, I don't think that that's a very sustainable thing just because of the fact that for art, art needs to have soul behind it. And I like to tell this story, right? Where I had my girlfriend had sent me a video on TikTok. It was a trailer for an audiobook. But they like the trailer was like with like actors and everything. So it looked really cool. And I found out it was an audiobook and I was like, oh, let me check this out. So I downloaded the app that it's on, did my little free trial. I started listening to it. And this is what kind of like what I mean when I say that there needs to be soul behind the art is I started listening to it and like not even 5 minutes in, I was like, why does it feel like there's no emotion in any of this? So like they were using obviously using somebody's voices and everything, but it didn't have the inflections, the emotions. It felt empty. And then I started researching into it. Come to find out that entire company actually does all their audiobooks using AI. So I was like, oh, okay, cancel membership, moving on because nothing that they can offer is going to be entertaining for the simple fact that there is no weight to the words that the AI is saying. Like that's a really big part of it, right? Because how you say something and the intention behind it. AI can't have intention.
exactly. Exactly. And now that's why you see a lot of people say, I do not give AI the rights to do my voice. I'm starting to see that in the post. So, yes, protect your image, protect everything. That's just like not just with your voice, but your brand itself. Say, for instance, okay, what's a brand that everyone likes? Starbucks. If Starbucks is Starbucks, you're going out here and you're trying to take their ideal or their concept or their brand motto, because every brand has a motto and a slogan for what they do. For McDonald's, what is it? I'm loving it. For what's another one? What is another one? For Walmart, what is it? Great prices, low prices. It's this Kmart, it was the blue light special. So everybody has their own slogan, their own brand, their own image, their own model that they go by. So make sure that you protect that as well too going in 2025. Make sure that you trademark everything. Make sure that you get an LLC. So even with Style by Stevie, I had to make sure that I get the paperwork registered for this everything. So I'm good. I'm covered over here. Nobody else can say, "Oh no, this is mine." No, no, it's mine. I've got it registered, licensed, everything, and I have the paperwork. Me and my mom went through the whole process. So make sure that you register, mark your brand, everything, protect everything, even your voice, even your image, your likeness. Sister, you are working this green. I had to for the Christmas holiday. I'm in the Christmas holiday spirit. So I was going to do red today, but I said, no, I'm green, Wicked, F. Alba, Cynthia Erivo did a fabulous job in Wicked. So I said, green is my color. So we went with green today. So it's the Christmas holidays. So I wanted to do green. And Belle says, I see you, Andy.
Shout out, yeah, that's my boy Jose Luis right there.
Well, welcome to the Dollhouse. Welcome if you're just coming in. We are here with Andersson, and we edition on the Burden of Nine Lives and the Nico film. And if you have not seen the Burden of Nine Lives, you guys can head on over to Amazon Prime and check it out right now. It is out, and make sure you go and check out any other of Vega's projects. Amazing filmmaker, amazing director, and I'm honored to call him my annoying little brother who always gives you the things you don't want to hear, but you need to hear them because they steer you in the right direction. So, my brother K2 says, I still need to watch Nico. And where can everyone check out that film, that project as well, to Nico, the Nico film?
Yeah, absolutely. You can stream it for free on Tubi, or you can rent or buy it on Amazon Prime.
There you go, Tubi and Amazon Prime. Great Christmas holiday tradition, because they were saying it was a whole debate about whether Die Hard is a Chris was it Die Hard? I think it was Die Hard. Is it a Christmas film or not? Make sure you guys please go if you are into action flicks. Listen, I have four brothers and I have two sisters, and my dad and my brothers they love action films. So this is right up their alley. Me, I'm more so if it's not Breakfast at Tiffany's or Clueless, because over the weekend I have been watching all, well, yeah, I finished two seasons of Clueless, and I got to go back and watch the third season. So I like Clueless, I like Breakfast at Tiffany's, more so chick flicks, if that's what the guys call it nowadays. So yes, my chick flicks for my ladies. If you're watching, you know, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Clueless. What's another one that I like? The Devil Wears Prada. Those are Mahogany, Diana Ross. If you want to go back in the '70s, it's Pam Grier. If you want to go back to because I love James Bond too. Um, what's one? View to a Kill with Grace Jones is one of my favorite James Bond films. So definitely go and check that one out if you haven't. We're talking about the 80s. So yeah, I watch a little action here or there, but I watch for the fashion. I watch to see what the woman is wearing in the film. And for me, it was Grace Jones. So I said, yeah, she's badass. And then we see her fast forward in Boomerang with Eddie Murphy and Robin Givens and Holly Berry. So yeah, definitely go and check those out if you're a fashion girl like myself. But speaking of fashion, we're going to have some fun while we got Andersson here. It is the Christmas holidays fashion dolls. And we all know that Christmas is it's like next week. It'll be here next week before you know it. So we're going to get into some holiday fun. We're going to do Christmas, this or that, or would you rather? And then I'm going to show you guys what's inside my purse. So yes, I'm bearing it all for my new viewers out there. All right? So we are going to start off with the Christmas Would You Rather with Andersson. All right?
It's gonna be
So,
fun.
Andersson, you have two choices. You have to tell me which would you prefer. And the audience at home, you guys can join along as well too. So the first choice is, would you rather receive money or gifts for Christmas? Which would you rather have?
Oh, this one's easy. Money. Give me money. I can put that towards my bills. You know, I can get what I actually want. Money, money all day. Put money in my stockings. Put money in my gifts. Money, money, money.
Yes, especially heading into the new year. A lot of people like, okay, I need to pay my taxes. I got to pay my bills. I got to do
Yep.
all this. I want to make sure that everything is
Pay
caught up.
my
So
bills.
I definitely agree, 100%. Now, I love snow on the Christmas time. These are your two choices. Would you rather have Christmas with no snow or a snowy Christmas? Which would you prefer?
Like just Christmas specifically.
Yes.
Okay, I can a white Christmas. So snow on Christmas. I like snow on Christmas. It kind of just gives me that nostalgic feeling of when I was a kid and I would look out the window and it's snowing and I get to stay home and have some hot chocolate and it's just such a nostalgic feeling when it's snowing,
And
especially on
it says,
Christmas.
as long as it isn't a blizzard. Now,
That
see,
part, that part.
let me get to his point, because see, if you live like Anderson is in Rhode Island, I'm in South Carolina. We barely get snow down here, but we get it every blue moon. Like my mom would say, every blue moon we get snow. But obviously, with me being near the beachfront and like Myrtle Beach, you're near that waterfront. is
Yep, yep.
1 minute is cool, the temperature will drop at night, and then you wake up in the morning, it's still cold, and then around this time, like around 2, 3, let's say 12 o'clock, it warms up. So yeah, the weather's Miss Mother Nature down here. She's having her days. She's having her days in South Carolina down here.
Yeah, we always
So
say in Rhode Island, we always say if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes.
exactly. And it's just like you don't know what to wear. 1 minute is cold. Like I had to take my baby out this morning. I told you guys I'm a dogless, uh, uh, a childless dog lady now. And I have a fur baby. So every morning I have to get up and take her out. And it is freezing cold, like ice still on the ground. We've already got the leaves. The yard is covered with leaves. So in the morning is cold, and then in the afternoons it starts to warm up as it gets up in the day. But yeah. All right, now
In Rhode
this also ties
Island,
into our question. You were saying, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
no, it's fine. I was just gonna say in Rhode Island today it's 60 degrees and tomorrow it's gonna be 30.
That's what gets us the worst is when the temperature drops at night. And it's like 30 degrees at night. You got to warm up, you got to bundle up everything. And I remember one point when I was going out to go get some things from the store, and I had on two of everything, two sweaters, two everything, two jacket. I was like a layered up scarf. I was not trying to get sick. And I think a lot of people take that same mindset as well too, to dress overly in layers because it's so cold. And you're just like, you don't
Yeah,
know where to go or what to do, how to turn yourself. You have to sit in front of the heater and warm up. If you have a fireplace, you warm up there too, warm your whole house up. All right. So here is the next one, and it ties into this question as well too. Now, would you rather spend all day watching movies or sledding? Because that ties into Eddie's comment about the blizzard. I know a lot of people like to sled and ski when it's a lot of snow and stuff outside.
no, give me movies all day. There's two reasons for it actually. The first one being that I am not a fan of the cold at all. Um, so people will always ask me, so what are you doing in Rhode Island then? But it's no. The cold for me is just a no. For many reasons, my body reacts weirdly to it. It's not fun for me. I don't like the cold. And then the second reason, which ties into the sledding, is my last memory of sledding was, I was out at the park, family, there was snow, so people were sledding. And there was this one young boy that was sledding, and his legs were open, and he slid right into a tree, right in between the legs, and it still hurts to say. So I'm good on the sledding. Um, that's my last memory of sledding. So I stay away from that. I'm fortunate enough that it didn't happen to me. I hope he's okay now. Uh, but I'm all set. So
And
give me all the
I
movies.
agree. The same here. When Christmas time rolls around, I go back to the classic Christmas films or holiday films. I sit and I binge watch. Like I said, over the weekend, I was binge watching Clueless, the series. There's the film and then there's the series. And Christmas holiday movies, my cult classic favorite. I mean, we all know Home Alone. We know it word for word. I've watched one, two, three, and four, the entire
Yeah, I
franchise. And
think
then
Home Alone 2 is actually playing on Freeform right now.
that a part of the 100 greatest Christmas movies is so many. The Santa Claus is another one. Another one of my favorites is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That is one every Christmas year I watch that one, and then I watch A Christmas Story as well too. Again, that live redaptation of it. They've done it live. So yeah.
Yeah, that's always a great thing. And then, I am a huge fan of the stop motion animation classics. Um, ranging from like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
Oh yeah.
uh Santa's Coming to Town, which there's a line in that movie that I'm always saying because I think it's like one of the funniest things ever. And if you go back and watch that movie, like you'll start cracking up because the writing is just very like there's one moment where the narrator is like, and he was a man now. And then the very next line is Santa going, I'm a man now. So I was actually watching it like 2 nights ago. Um, but then there's also a line when he first gets brought to if I remember correctly, are the elves. One of them opens the door and goes, "It's a baby," and then one of the other ones come on and is like, "A baby what?" Winkle, and then they go, "A baby, Dinkle," and that gets me every time. Um, and then of course, there's Grandma got run over by a reindeer, which is not as easy to come by, but
Oh
still an
yeah.
awesome classic.
And mine's for me it was the what was it the Bernstein Bears. I went and I watched that one, which is like in the 70s. And the eagle part took me out. So if you know, we got the eagle. That's the symbol for the United States down here. And the eagle, Mr. Eagle, was not having it. When I tell you that eagle flew down so fast, I was rolling Anderson. The eagle, because he grabbed the axe. Because you got the cut. That's another thing, Christmas trees, and that's one of our questions. Now, would you prefer the real pine tree or the actual faux Christmas tree? Because the thing is with real Christmas trees, you got to make sure at the bottom is you got water at the bottom of that tree and everything. So which would you prefer?
I am, some people might call it lazy, but I prefer the term efficient, so I'm gonna go with the faux Christmas trees. Just a whole lot less work, especially around Christmas. Like there's people are stressed out about enough, right? Because we're busy Christmas shopping and doing all the holiday shenanigans. So why add to that by having to worry about taking care of a tree when you can just get the faux tree and have a nice faux tree, look nice, decorated, and you don't have to worry about pines being anywhere or anybody being allergic to the tree because that is a thing.
Absolutely, and you have to make sure at the bottom of that tree that water is in there, that the tree doesn't dry up, and then vacuuming those pine needles is
Huh.
is versus the real thing. That's for real trees. Whereas the faux tree, all you got to do is break it down piece by piece and put it in color by color. We had a 7 foot Christmas tree, and you guys have heard me tell the story. My art teacher gave it to me. I said I would love to see a big, we see the ones in what is it in New York and in the gardens and things. The big Rockefeller, is the Rockefeller Center, the Christmas tree, the big, huge, massive Christmas tree. It is beautiful. But this tree was 7 feet. I'm 5'7". So if imagine me standing next to that tree, putting that tree up, and every year, every Christmas, we had to dig in the shed and pull it out, and then we had to put the limbs in color by color because they have it color coded, and then you have to go in and decorate it. That tree was taller than me. I'm 5'7", so again, having to go in and climb and reach and put the ornaments at the top and then put the star up. I literally had to step on a stump stool to put the star at the top of the tree. My mom was like, "Don't fall," and I managed to get it up there. I don't know how, but I managed to get that star to the top of that tree. It was huge. It wouldn't fit in our house because we only have so much space in our living area, so we had to go and put it on the porch. So when my art teacher said 7 feet, we got a 7 foot tree for you, girl. And I said, yeah, I'll take it off your hands. And right after school, I went and picked it up, having no idea how we were going to fit that thing in the car and
But
how we was going to get it home. But we managed to do it. We had a truck at the time, so yeah.
you had a tree, and that's all you cared about.
Yes, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Now we got a miniature tree to go inside, but we couldn't fit that big 7 foot tree in the house. It would took up too much space. It wouldn't been able to see the TV or nothing. But glad we put it on the porch. Okay, so here is the next one. Now this one should be easy. Would you rather have eggnog or hot chocolate?
Ah. I'm gonna go with hot chocolate just because with eggnog it's gonna have to be specific because I enjoy like vanilla eggnog, but so I'm gonna go with hot chocolate.
With the marshmallows, and you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. It's a classic.
Yeah, you
Add
gotta
that.
put some whipped cream on that, and that way when you're drinking it, it cools off as it's leaving the mug.
Mm, Yes, and people put something a little extra in their eggnog, if you know what I mean. So yes,
Yeah,
I've seen people do it.
but
That's the grown folks version
oh
of it.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Because if I'm gonna have eggnog, I might as well just get some coquito, you know?
exactly. And the next one is, would you rather have a subscription box or an experience gift for Christmas?
Experience gift for Christmas, all day, every
Ooh,
day. That's actually something that we've been. When I say we, I mean my girlfriend and I. We've definitely been telling people, hey, if you want to get us anything, like for birthday, Christmas, whatever, get us an experience. A, because nothing else fits in our where we live right now, but B, it's just we like to live life. And the materialistic stuff, sure, it's cool and sometimes it's helpful depending on what it is. But there's nothing like going out and doing something that you are going to remember for a good part of your life. And just being able to experience more. And we're on this earth for like way too long to not enjoy what
yeah,
there is.
absolutely. Absolutely. Now, speaking of enjoyment, would you rather decorate your home with white lights or multicolored Christmas lights?
I'm a simple guy, so I'm gonna go with the white colored lights. I think there's just a more elegant feel about just having the white lights and being able to do more fancy things with it.
I like the multicolor. I like drama. I love color. I just love from every aspect. Like my grandmother, when she would decorate her house, my aunt and my cousin and my uncle and then his wife and the family, we would get involved. It would be so much fun. But we couldn't step on those lights. My aunt would get on us if we stepped on those lights by accident. We didn't watch where we was going.
Better not step
But
on those lights.
yes, one part of the tree, she had the first tree when you came in her yard was green, and then one part of it was the roof because she did something to the roof as well too. It was blue, so everything was color coded. And then she had the Mary and Joseph, just beautiful. And our newspaper down here, which is what, the Times and Democrat, we go and take pictures of people's homes. It would be like a contest of who has the best decorated home. You know how they say, "Oh my God, this is the best beautiful lawn," or
Yep, yep.
something. They would go and they judge to see who had the best Christmas decorations. Anderson, when I tell you, her and her girlfriend that lives right across from her, they be in competition. It would be like, okay, you got Beyonce and then you got Rihanna. They would be in competition with each other who has the most best decorated house. And her neighbor right across from her, because they're good friends, she had to take some of her Christmas decorations and put it in storage because she has so many. And she has the inflatable Santa, that the inflatable blow up Santa.
Yeah.
So they're literally in competition. Every year they do it. So, but it's beautiful though, and they would have it lit up like it's Las Vegas. When you go to the casino and it's all of the lights. So that was what I remember. Okay, here is the next one. Now, would you rather knit a Christmas sweater or Christmas mittens?
Oh. Uh, if we're gonna pretend I know how to knit, I think I'm gonna say probably a sweater. 'Cause I feel like it's a little bit more practical. It would take me longer to knit, obviously, but I think you can get more use out of the sweater than the mittens.
Brother says a Christmas sweater and multicolored Christmas lights. Yes, you won't believe how many ugly Christmas sweaters I saw when I was going to the store over the weekend with so many of the little fuzzy things on them. I mean, they had all kind of designs and pockets. And then Jimmy Fallon, if you watched his show, he literally he has a big box of giveaways where it's like all of these different funky ugly Christmas sweaters with pockets and extra shoulder details. I mean, people go all out for Christmas.
Yeah.
Even the matching pants as well too. No joke. So exactly. And here's the next one. Now, would you rather play Secret Santa or attend a white elephant gift exchange?
So let's break down what's a white elephant gift exchange.
Okay, a white elephant gift exchange is like you don't know what you're getting. Similar to Secret Santa in a way, you don't know what you're getting,
Is it
or it's sort of like you pull a name from a hat. Yeah.
like a
And
Yankee
okay,
swap?
yes. And you don't know what it is. I like the mystery of it.
Yeah, I that's a hard one. I like them both, honestly, because Secret Santa's cool because you still get that element of surprise, right? Of who's like you don't know who you're getting or what you're getting.
Yep.
But they can still get you something that you might actually want. Whereas like the Yankee swap style, I think is more fun. Just because it's like you just don't know and it's very interactive, right? And everybody's like, I want that thing because that thing looks big and I want it, and then you just never know what's in it and you get some good laughs out of it. Um so I'm a little torn, but I'm gonna go with the crowd here and lean towards Secret Santa just because of the fact that you'll probably, actually end up getting something that you might actually want, as opposed to a Yankee swap where it's just anything can happen. Um, so if it's in terms of which one do I think would be better for me, speaking a little selfishly, than Secret Santa. But if you want to have more fun, then I'm gonna go the Yankee swap route. But the needle's leaning a little bit more to Secret Santa.
Yes, and the audience is even saying Secret Santa as well too. Where it's okay, you pick a name from a hat, and you don't know who the person you're getting a gift for. You know, and you open it, you don't reveal it to them,
Yep.
and you have to get them something, and then it's just like okay, you put their name on it, they don't know what they're getting. So I like the element of surprise too. Now the last, but certainly not least, and I know a lot of people will love this one right here. Would you rather make Christmas lunch or Christmas dinner a tradition?
Uh, so we actually have been doing brunch the last couple of years, and I like that. So I'm gonna, but I guess I can't pick that because that's not a choice here. So if I have to go between lunch and dinner, I'm going to say I'm gonna go with dinner. Then you can just have heftier meals. You eat, and you're gonna catch the itis from your meals, and then you can go to sleep because it's right after dinner.
Absolutely.
So dinner sounds like the most convenient. I like to eat regardless, despite not looking like it. But so I'll take both. But if I have to pick one, dinner.
And the audience is agreeing. Chrissy and Kate Tooks, they said Christmas dinner, and I agree too. Like my mom starts her own traditions. Now, typically we would do Thanksgiving dinner, but she surprised me when she said, "Oh, we cooking Christmas dinner," and we did it the previous year before. And this Thanksgiving, not too long ago, she said, I'm not cooking nothing," because she was basically the only one doing the cooking.
Yeah.
And what we did was like an Uber Eats thing. It was pretty fun because everybody had Thanksgiving in their own homes. So what we did was we would take each other's food, whatever we cooked, to each other's house, and we would give each other something like that. So my aunt was responsible for that. It was like that's why I say it was like a Uber Eats. We delivered to each other because we typically would have Thanksgiving under one roof, which is my grandmother's. Everybody
Yeah.
would go over there and bring their dish of whatever they made, but everybody stayed in and made it with their families this year. So start your own tradition. Start your own tradition and
That
make it
part.
fun. And not only that, but we exchanged Christmas gifts as well too. So it was pretty fun. But this year I don't know what my mom is going to do, if she's going to do Christmas dinner or not. It depends on how she feels. So I know last year I did the baked macaroni, and that is something that we had no more of. Everybody cleaned because it was a big, and I mean big tray of it. And when I went back to get some, it was gone. I said, "Where's the macaroni?" I remember making it. So we had no room in the refrigerator. We had to take stuff and sit it on our porch and thank the Lord it was cold, because if it was hot, that would have led to a disaster. Now we would have had a problem on our hands because the food would have went bad, and I'm just like, oh my God. But thank God it was cold, because we literally had to go outdoors if we wanted something and take our plate. out there and fix it because it was so big it wouldn't fit in our refrigerator. So we had to break it down in portions and give some to our family. But when I went back to get some, it was gone. So yeah. All right, fashion dolls. It is now time. You guys have been waiting and anticipating for this moment, and it's going to be quick. All right. What's inside Miss Stevie's
So,
purse? All right.
but before you get to that, right? Full transparency. And hopefully it doesn't look like this is obvious, but full transparency, the entire interview, I actually haven't been able to see you at all. Um, I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's on my end, so I won't even know what you pull out the bag. Just a little fun tidbits for anybody watching.
Well, you will see it at the end, and you will see me. That's crazy. Oh my God, Jesus. But it's been a minute since Anderson. He said he's never done IG Live. So we're going to get you right. And when I post it out, you're going to be tagged in it so you'll be able to see me. Okay, so I'm going to make it quick. All right, fashion dolls. Okay, the first thing that I'm pulling out of my bag is, oh, yes, my cosmetic bag right here. So you guys get to see a little bit of what's in here, what I take with me. Okay, so sanitizer, that is a must. Perfume. This is Dolly Parton's perfume. I think it is Tennessee Sunset, which is one of my personal favorites. Smells delish. Hand cream, butter, vanilla buttercream, which smells like a cupcake. Love it. The next one is another Dolly Parton fragrance, which is Scent from Above, another one of my favorites. Some samples. I keep those in there. Oh yes, I love this scent, and I'm already wearing something the strawberry scented Gingham Gorgeous. Um, what else do I have? Jesus. Definitely got to take care of the lips. I know you guys are wondering what lip color is she wearing today. Let me see. I am wearing Milani's Soft Rose. That is the lip color that I'm wearing today. If you guys are wondering, what else do I have in here? My phone. Gotta have my phone. Business, appointments, interviews, my cosmetology license, my calendar, uh, my wallet. Let's see what else do we have in here. Keys. They
Sounds
see
like you
the
have a
world is
whole
in a
work.
yes. And that is it, fashion dolls. That is it. That is it. So you guys have seen officially what's in my purse. And I've seen people do this from TikTok. A lot of girls do this on TikTok. So I said, why not join the trend and do it on the show here? But before we wrap up, Anderson, what are some gems and words of encouragement that you would like to leave with your supporters? Because you had some family members come through, you've had some of your friends come through. What are some gems that you want to leave with your supporters and the fashion dolls here in the dollhouse going into 2025 in the Christmas holiday?
Yeah. Uh, my top three things are going to be. Oh, there's an echo now. All right. A, be intentional. B, is life is too long to live in regret, but too short to not do what you love. And C, love is a choice. So those are my three big things that I would impart on anybody, and those are things that I kind of lead my life with.
Absolutely. And to add on, today's final thought comes from the amazing William Shakespeare. And he says that all things are ready if our mind be so. So that means prepare. Write down what you want to do. I forgot to tell you guys also. I've already started working on my vision board for 2025, working on things that I want to improve on for the next upcoming season, season 19, which is going to be an amazing journey. I've already got all of my guests booked on it. Hopefully, Anderson, I can get you, Vega, and Ashley on together. We can make it a four screen because IG has it that you can add more than just one person. You can add four people. And I have
Yeah, that
done
would be
that
a
before.
blast.
Yes. So we're going to set that up. I'm going to talk to Vega. But in the meantime, I want you guys to have an amazing Christmas holiday. Get that shopping done if you have not. Get your tickets if you are planning on going home. Because I can tell you right now, last minute travel before the Christmas holidays, the lines are going to be so packed you would think it's a Taylor Swift or a Beyonce or Janet concert. The lines are going to be wrapped around the corner. So go ahead and book your tickets right now to go and visit your family and have the most amazing, wonderful time of the year, which is Christmas. It's all about being together, being happy. So that's why I've been in the spirit lately, and I chose green today. So I want you guys to be safe. And Anderson, where can everyone go and check you out in the Nico film, The Burden of Nine Lives, out now on Amazon Prime, and you can check out the Nico film on Tubi. And where else can everyone check you out?
Yeah. So Instagram, obviously, AT the actor. Facebook, Anderson Tejeda. ATtheactor.com. And you can find me on IMDb as well, Anderson Tejeda.
There you go, Fashion Dolls. Anderson Tejeda. Thank you so much, Anderson. I had such a great time. I know you can't see me, you talking to a dark screen, but you
You
will
know,
see me at the end
acting.
of this interview. I promise. So we're gonna have it uploaded. You guys head on over if you have not and subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime so that you can check out some of the previous interviews. Thank you so much, brother. I'm glad. And make sure you guys head on over and subscribe to my brother K Tukes, the K Tukes spot as well too. K Tukes, definitely reach out to Anderson, set something up with him. I'm pretty sure him and Vega would love to come on your show as well.
Absolutely.
Great
Good to
platform.
it. I'm open to all
Definitely.
the interviews.
Definitely. All right, Fashion Dolls. Joining me tomorrow, we have Ina Haroldson, who will be joining me. I love you all, and I want you guys to stay fierce, stay fabulous, and mostly importantly, stay styled by Stevie. Take care, everyone.